Hi, my name is Robert Ridley, and this is my Module 1 introductory video for AEP 800. My personal demographic, I currently live in Gardner, Kansas with my wife Lauren. We've been married for 4 years. We have two children. Our son Ryder is 3 years old, and our daughter Tinley Grace is 6 months old. I am currently starting my 7th year at Bishop Ward High School. In Kansas City, Kansas. My current role is the Dean of Students. Prior to becoming the Dean of Students, this will be my 2nd year as the Dean of Students. Prior to that, I served as the Athletic Director for 2 years. And then prior to being the Athletic Director, I taught American history, current social issues, psychology, and those were the main courses that I taught. Here we have an enrollment of a little over 300 students. We're around 315, 320 students, and we serve a diverse population here in Kansas City. Some of the impact on technology, let's see, it provides abundant resources. It allows you to stay in touch with current and social issues. I think that's huge for our students. And it also helps being college and career ready. Some implications, technology is always changing and we have to stay on top of it because our students are definitely on top of it. So we must make sure that we are staying up to date with technology. Social skills, one of the things that with technology is it can we kind of lose sight of some of those social skills that we tend to develop by carrying on conversations. So that's one thing that I encourage in the classroom is to still have those the social component and allowing kids to talk with one another, not just through technology, but also one-to-one and face-to-face interaction, because I think that's a huge life skill that they still need. Some influence, data and growth. It allows us to be able to collect that data, track some growth, and kind of see where we are and see how we are progressing, and if we're not, what we need to do to progress. Engagement, it keeps the kids engaged. It gets them excited. It definitely helps with classroom management, I feel like. And then the communication piece, it is definitely easy to communicate through technology, especially with younger generation. So I think that the communication piece is a huge influence there. A critique of my use with technology. Coming from the Dean of Students perspective, this is our first year launching a one-to-one initiative. So that this has been a learning curve for us, and we're still learning as we go. Luckily, so far, knock on wood, it has been pretty smooth. So hopefully it continues to go that way. But I also think that it helps with communication, especially with my role as Dean of Students and communicating with teachers and families and community members. It definitely has a good impact there. Software filtering, that's we added a new software this year, so just staying up to date on that, going through some training on how to utilize that properly and what that looks like for me and how I can utilize it as the Dean of Students versus being in the classroom, because I still get to see everything that all students are doing in any classroom versus just being in one classroom. So that just staying up to date on that. The use of Google Classroom, I try to make sure that I am staying up to date with Google Classroom because that's what a majority of our teachers and kids are using. So I like to make sure that I stay up to date on it as well. That way I have a feel for what's going on. Testing software, we've implemented some new testing this year, so going through some training on that was huge, and just tracking that data as I mentioned earlier, and then being able to measure where we are and tracking our growth over periods of time. And especially for my role as the Dean of Students with public relations, technology definitely with social media, emails, sending out text messages through robotext and things like that, definitely has allowed us to reach more parents and families quickly. Technology enhancement plan, some of the things is just continuing to do some PD with new technology in order to help support our teachers. So just learning about new resources, new software that can be used in the classroom in order for us as the administration to come back and be able to provide our teachers with these new ideas and new softwares, and so I think that is huge. Is just continuing to stay up to date on that, because as we know, technology is ever changing. So that is huge. Also continuing to update our infrastructure to help support our bandwidth. We have an old building. Our building was built in 1931, and the structure has not been updated too much. So therefore, it takes a little more. It takes a little more on the infrastructure side of things in order with with wiring and cables and all of that, to get the signal strength that we need to support the one-to-one initiative. And then just creating a platform for our professional community. So setting up like a Google Plus community for our faculty. That way they can share new ideas, because it's always good to share new ideas and to share what you're doing. That way we can learn from each other. That's one thing I'm always asking questions with our teachers and staff, because they're the experts, and that's who I'm trying to learn from them and their expertise as well. So just getting a platform established so that we can all share our expertise in different areas. Funding, being a private school, funding sometimes can become an issue, because we have to do a lot of fundraising in order to support a lot of things that we want to do. So we did a lot of fundraising in order to support our one-to-one initiative that was launched this year. Did some grant writing, not only to help with the one-to-one initiative, but to help with the infrastructure and the wiring and a few different programs that we have brought in this year. We have added 4 new programs this year. So that's quite significant for our staff. So just staying up to date on that, making sure that we are continuing to provide the funding, or to get the funding needed in order to be competitive and stay on top of the ever-changing world of technology. And then always utilizing free software and tools. Anytime it's free, I think that's always good to utilize if it's beneficial and is going to be something of use within the classroom, something that's going to benefit our kids. This is my presentation, and I look forward to getting to learn from all of you in this course, and I hope you have a good semester. Thank you.